Hello everybody, welcome to Totally Tabled. My name is Shaggy, and today I'm doing a playthrough of Maquis. This is a quick playing, solo-only worker placement game. In it, we play a small group of freedom fighters resisting the Nazi occupation of France during World War II. We have 15 days in order to complete 2 critical missions, which are chosen at random. I decided to go with 2 level 1 missions and randomly got sabotage and underground newspaper. Keep in mind there are 2 sort of tutorial missions that you can do that are very easy, that are just designed to teach you the mechanics of the game. We're going to skip that and jump into 2 level 1 missions. I've got everything all set up, so let's just dive right in. We start with 3 resistance workers in our safe house, and we're going to be placing them out into these different districts, and each is a worker placement spot, which will give us a little special ability. On each of the 15 days, we'll get to place a worker out, and then the AI, the Maquis, which are a police force, they're going to get to place a person out. And if we're not careful, our resistance workers can get arrested. Now, we also have 2 additional workers that we can recruit by going to the cafe here. You can see here on top, it shows that if you pay a food, then you can recruit a new worker. Well, one of the places that we get food is right here at the grocer. So I say, let's move someone into the grocer to get a little bit of food. Now that we've placed a worker, the game gets to place a worker, and you do that by just flipping over the top card. And they are going to go to the first empty location that they can. In this case, they're going to go right here. And now we get to place a second worker. And keep in mind, we could place them anywhere we want at all. Maybe we want to go to the doctor to get some medicine. You can see here we can exchange medicine or food for money. Money is important because you can use money to buy weapons, and you can also use 2 money to get new locations out. But we need to be careful where we place our next worker, because after we've placed all of our workers and the Maquis have been placed, our workers are going to need to be able to get back to the safe house. They're going to have to be able to trace a route using these white lines back to the safe house without having to go through any of the police. And as you can see here, there's only these 2 ways to get into the safe house, apart from this line. Now here's the good thing. The patrols will never appear on these 2 fields or in this cafe. They'll also never appear in any of these sort of spare room areas. So we know that if we were to place someone here in the cafe to maybe spin the food that we're going to get in order to get a new worker, that person would always be safe no matter what. Even if they went here, they would be safe because the cops will never show up in that cafe. But if I place someone at the doctor, the cops may show up here at this black market. And if that happens, there'd be no way for this person to get back to the safe house. They'd be trapped and they would get arrested. That's why we have to be careful. So we may want to go to this black market here, even if we don't want to use the space, just so we've created a line so that we can maybe get up to this radio or go over to this poor district. And actually, I think that's exactly what I want to do. I'm going to put that there. So let's see where they're going to go. Aha, see? Their first choice was to go to the grocer, but we're already there, so they're not going to go there. So they're going to take their second choice, which is right here. And that now frees us up to go to the radio. Well, it sort of frees us up because there is another little wrinkle here, and that is if all 3 of these locations that are on their card are filled, either with our resistance workers or the Maquis, then they're going to go to the first place that has one of our resistance workers, and they're going to arrest them in the location. So even though it appears like we're safe right now, we actually aren't necessarily. It is possible that they could come in and arrest one of them if all of the spaces that they wanted to go were filled. And that's a big risk, because if they were to end up going to the grocer and arresting this person, these 2 wouldn't have a way of getting back to the safe house. They would also be arrested, and when all of your resistance workers are arrested, you lose the game. So we are taking a little bit of a risk here, but hopefully it should be fine. Okay, They wanted to go to Radio B, but we got there before them. So they're going to come over here as their second choice. So we got away with it. We're all good. So once everyone has been placed, we then get to activate our workers in whatever order we want. So let's start with the grocer. They're going to be able to make it back to the safe house, and we'll get a food. This black market person, I think they are going to spend the food to get a money. But as a consequence of that, we are going to lose one of our morale. Now, this morale track is something we're going to have to keep a close eye on, because if it ever gets to the fail, then you're going to lose the game. And any time the day marker reaches one of these orange spaces, so the 3rd day, the 6th day, the 9th day, the 12th day, and the 14th day, we're going to lose morale. So we're going to have to be careful with the morale track. We can always go to this poor district, spend a food and a medicine in order to increase our morale. And we might have to do that depending. But I think for now, we really want some money. And now our radio guy can get in. And at the radio location, there's 2 radio locations, Radio A and Radio B. They do the same thing. You can either get one of these intel tokens, or you can do a supply drop. With the supply drop, you can request either 1 weapon, 1 money, or 3 food. And it will appear in one of these fields. Then on a later turn, you can send someone to that field to pick it up. So it takes 2 days to sort of secure it, but that's a really good way of getting a lot of food or getting a weapon pretty easily. I think we want to request some money. Where are the money tokens? There we go. We're going to request some money and put it on a field. That way we can get 2 money and be able to afford to build one of these spare rooms. The reason I want to rush that is because of our mission. So let's take a look at those in more detail so we can see exactly what we're trying to achieve to win the game. We're going to have to complete both of these missions before the 15th day. They're both relatively straightforward. Let's look at sabotage. As you can see, each of these is connected by a road. These are actually locations that exist that we can place our workers on to take actions. And they're going to have to work their way back to the safe house, just like any other worker that you place out. To complete sabotage, we need to send a worker here, then on a different day, send another worker, and then on a 3rd day, we need to send a worker with an explosive. Once we do that, we have completed the sabotage mission. Now, the only way to make an explosive is to build this chemist lab here in one of these spare room locations. And in order to build, you need 2 money. So that's why we're rushing to get 2 money, so we can get that built, so we can build the explosive to complete the sabotage. We'll then have to get some medicine, which you can get at the doctor's office. For our underground newspaper, we need to do something similar. We're going to need to send a worker and spend 2 intel tokens. And we need to do that on 3 separate days. So getting those intel tokens is going to be really important. Now, we can get those in 2 ways. We can get them at the radios, either radio, or we can build this informant in one of the spare rooms. And then we can just send a worker there to get one of the intel tokens. So we're really interested in both of these. I'm not sure. We definitely need to build the chemist lab. We might want to build that informant as well. We'll see. So there we go. We are all done. We've put out our 3 workers. We took the actions. Now we're going to do a little bit of cleanup. We just put these police back. We move the day marker down. If we had moved onto an orange day, then we would lower the morale. And we're now going to check to see how many police officers there's going to be for this next day. The way you determine that is you look at where your current morale is. Currently, we're at 5 morale. And you look at that little red number. Right there, it says 3. You're then going to look at how many resistance workers you have. And whichever number is largest, that's how many police officers going to be. So that's another reason why you want to keep your morale as high as possible, because as the morale lowers, more and more officers are going to start showing up. Right now, though, they're both at 3, so we're only going to have 3 for this next day. Okay, so there's a couple of things I want to do right away. I think I really do want to get this informant built. And we can do it this turn, because you can use the things that you gather in the same round that you gather them. And as I said before, we know that the cops are not going to show up down here. So that field is safe. We don't have to rush to go there. And we also know they're not going to show up in the spare room. So I say, let's go to this grocer again. Okay, they're going to go over here to the fence. So that's effectively blocking off the sabotage. And so we definitely don't want to go over there. I think we're going to have a very easy turn here. We are just going to make sure that we can build that informant spare room right there. We're going to go to radio A. And then this one will just come to the field to pick up that money so that we have enough to build. All right, would go to the grocer, but won't. Goes to the poor district instead. Boom. So now we'll have this person collect this money. This person will spend the money to build. Now we have a new location that we can go to get the intel that we need for the underground newspaper. Beautiful. And then this guy at the grocer can just pick up a food. And we're done. Turns are that simple. Move to the next day. Everything's still at 3 and we're ready to go. Now with this food, we could come here and get an extra worker. Keep in mind, like I said, if you have 4 workers, then there's going to be 4 police. And if you have 5 workers, then there's going to be 5 police. There's always going to be at least as many police as you have workers. And so it's not necessarily a good idea to rush to have a bunch of workers. I think we definitely want to hit the informant. Maybe we want to get a new person, or maybe we don't want to worry about that right now. Maybe we want to try to hit the informant and the radio. Or is this a time when we want to maybe push to try to hit the sabotage? I don't know. I think we are going to go this way, try to secure this side for now. That way we can get to the informant safely and not have to worry too much. And food is always good. Radio B. So they cut us off from going over there. That's a shame. I mean, we could just go cafe, get a 4th worker informant at this point. We could hit the black market again, but I'm a little worried about the morale. But we are going to need to get 2 more money at some point. We know that. Let's hit the informant and let's see what these guys are going to do. Okay, go in here. Let's take a risk. Let's go here and let's get that 4th worker and let's just see how that works. Because we're going to need to start hitting that sabotage, I think. Okay, going over there. No problem. So, grocer's just getting another food. Food's always useful. We'll spend one of those food to get another worker. And then the informant will get us a little intel. But a couple things happen now. We move down into an orange day, so our morale decreases. And not only do we have 4 workers now, but also because our morale's at 4, that little red number is 4, that means regardless of how many workers we had, there were still going to be 4 police. Okay, we're going to need to make a little bit of a push here, I think. I want to maybe hit sabotage or the underground newspaper. But I also, if we're going to hit the underground newspaper, we're going to need some more intel. And I'd like to get up to the radio if possible. So we're going to start at the grocer again. Okay, radio A. That's all right. Now, when the patrol deck runs out, you just shuffle it back up. Let's hit the black market. Okay, the fence. All right, so that shuts down sabotage. We could push over to radio B. Yeah, I think I want to push to radio B, and then we'll see. Because again, we know that a cop will never show up at our informant's place. That will never happen. Okay. So they shut off that way of going. So now we have to decide if we want to take a risk. Yeah, we got a couple options. We could risk it and go to the underground newspaper. The only place that would mess us up is if they go here. then these guys would be fine, but that worker would get arrested. And if we go there, then that means, oh, actually, we can't go to the underground newspaper because that doesn't come right away. The informant one does, but this is just going to show up in that field. Our choice is really, if we want to get our 5th worker, we could come over here. Or do we want to just go to the informant? Let's go to the informant. I don't know if I want 5 workers quite yet. Okay, so they're not going to go to the fence because there's always somebody there. Okay, so they're going there. Whew, okay, good. We got away with it. We're all good. Grocer is going to get some more food. Informant. Get that intel. Now we have the 2 intel we need to go to the underground newspaper. Let's have this radio give us some money. Put it in the field. And I say, yeah, let's just do it. Let's just get that second money. We'll pay the food, and we'll get another money from the black market, which means we're losing a little bit of morale. I think we'll have to go to the poor district at some time just to try to keep our morale from hitting that level 1 space where we get 5 cops out. But I think I'm pretty happy with that. Okay. Yeah, honestly, I just want to get that chemist lab out, I think, and try to hit that underground newspaper. Yeah, we've been really working this side over here, but I think that's what we want to do. Oh, Radio B. Cutting us off. One thing we could do is try to get both of these entrances and give us a little bit more flexibility. It's an interesting idea, but I think maybe we just want to get in there, get this over with, and hope to get lucky and get into that underground newspaper. I think that's our plan at this point. Okay, can't go to the grocer, so it's going to go to the poor district. Let's get that spare room locked up, and let's see what they do. Okay, Radio A. And then this one has to go over here to the field to get the money so that we can build the spare room. Okay. And we're fine. Beautiful. Collect the money. Spend the money. Now we got that we need. Get another food. And we're actually just not going to even use the black market. That guy was just there to sort of keep that path open. And he did his job well. Okay, now we really got to start hitting these at some point. We're all set up, but we can't do those all in one day. We got to do those in separate days. You know, you can't just send multiple workers to each of these locations. It has to be done in separate days. Because you can only have at most 1 worker on each location, and that includes your missions. So it might be helpful to go to the doctor, try to work our way up this spine, and then we have sort of 2 options of how to proceed. So I kind of like going this way. Okay, Radio B, that's fine. We don't mind that. Let's hit that poor district. Grocer, all right. This might be our opportunity to hit these, you know. I think I'm going to take a little bit of a risk here. Rather than be super safe, let's go to the doctor. And let's see what they do. Aha, Radio A. Okay, love it. So they can't block both of these, so we could just take a risk. Okay, we're going to try this sabotage mission. And we're going to hope that we don't get the fence. It's a risk. Whew, okay, that was close. Radio B can't go there. Grocer can't go there. Black market can. Whew, so we all made it. That was lucky. So there's nothing to be done there. That was just creating a path. Doctor, gonna get some medicine. Here we're sabotaging. So we just put a little yellow marker on here to show that we've completed that. And there's that road, and they can make it home. So that was a dangerous mission, but we got it. And now if we wanted, we could increase our morale. And I like that. I think I want to do that. So we're going to spend a food and a medicine in the poor district just to get our morale ticking up. Excellent, excellent. That was a successful mission right there. So we're going into day 6. We're going to lose that morale that we just gained, but that's good. We're staying nice and even. And this might be a day to try to push for the underground newspaper. Yeah. I'm going to go this way. Ooh, look at that. We cut them off. Oh, no, but then they just bounce right here. Wow. Okay. Do we go after our 5th worker? I'm a little afraid of doing that. We could go informant. You know, just build these up. You are piece limited, so let's see if there's more of these in here. Okay, yeah, there are 2 more, so we could go informant. We could make a risky play for the sabotage. Or just play for the radio. I'm going to do that. Let's see if we can't do something about this. Okay, here we go. Let's get that medicine that we needed. Okay, close that off. That's fine. Because we're going to go over here to the informant. Radio B. Fine. Perfect. That worked just fine. Grocer's going to get us some food. Get some more intel. And we get the medicine. Okay. We're really loaded up here. But we got to start hitting our missions. Okay, we need to make a bit of a push. But I don't want to do anything too drastic yet. Let's just continue with our plan here. Okay. That's a good start. Let's just keep moving in this direction, because if we get blocked, we can still go to this chemist lab and at least make the explosive so we have it ready to go. And we can always visit our informant, and we could even go to the cafe. So we have a lot of safe options here, but hopefully we won't get blocked and we can maybe hit that underground newspaper right away. Okay. Blocking that's okay. There's always a bit of a risk when you have too many of your people out. Because again, there's that rule that can really come back to bite you. If all 3 of these are occupied, then they're going to arrest someone. And if your linchpin is one place and they arrest that person, then you have nobody left and you just instantly lose. So it's always a risk. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to come over here to this cafe and see what they do. And that'll change my mind. Because we know at the very least that person is not going to get caught no matter what happens. Okay. That's helpful, actually. Can't go to the grocer, is going to go here. That puts my mind at ease a little bit. Feel like we might be safe to try to come here. There's a chance that they might get arrested, but I think that's a risk that we're willing to take. And then we paid off. Look at that. Boom. So we'll get some more food. Way more food than we need. We're going to deliver 2 pieces of intel. And that worker makes it back. Very nice. We're going to spend a food. Get our 5th resistance worker. Which of course means we're going to get another cop. And now we have to decide. I don't think we need money. There's something I haven't mentioned yet. I might as well mention it now. It's something I'm trying to avoid. The only reason I might want to get money is because if you go to the fence here, you can exchange that money for a weapon. There's some missions that require you to have weapons. We don't have any of that. But you can use a weapon in order to shoot and kill one of these police. It's a way for you, like if they were blocking your path and you had a weapon, you could use it to get them out of the way so that you could get through. Now, the problem with doing that is that you have to move the soldier track up when you do that. And whenever you do that, you lose a morale and one of these soldier pieces comes out and they cannot be shot. But it's really the loss of morale that I'm trying to avoid. So I don't want to do that. So I'm not going to get any money. We're just going to have that person come home and we're good. Okay, we're making good progress here. I think we need to visit the informant, the chemist lab. So we definitely want to hit that grocer. Lock that down. Okay, they're locking down this area. But now that we have 5 workers, I think we also maybe just want to send someone out. Maybe just send them out to sabotage. If they get arrested, it's fine. Well, here, let's at least secure that and see what happens. Radio B, not bad. I think I want to play it cool a little bit. Yeah, let's play it cool. Let's go to that informant. Okay, they locked that down. Couldn't go there, went there, locked that down. Now we could still go there. It just means that the person would get arrested after they did their delivery. But maybe it's a little too early. We're going to continue to play it cool and see what happens. Oh man, they are just locking these down, aren't they? Yeah, I tell you what, we're going to have this person sort of sacrifice themselves. They're going to do a little bit of a hero mission here, and they're going to go in there, and they're going to get arrested, but that's okay. And then let's see where this last one goes. Can't go to Radio B, so it's coming over there. Fine. Grocer. Informant. Okay, the chemist. Now we have the explosive that we need. Boom. So now we're here. Now here's the thing. This person is going to get arrested. They do not have a path back to the safe house. Now normally that means that they wouldn't even get to do their action. Like say they were on the doctor here. If they couldn't make it back, they wouldn't be able to make it back with the medicine. So you just don't get to do the action. That's true unless there's this little symbol right there. The little shield with the star. You can see it's also here in the poor district. That symbol means that even if you get arrested, you're still able to do the action. And that's the case here with both of our missions. They still get to do the action and then they get arrested. So we did complete that, but now this worker is out of the game permanently. We can never get them back. And we don't want the money. We're just going to bring them home. We're down to 4 workers, so we're only going to have 4 police. And our morale is going to go down, but you can see we're moving into one that also says 4. So we're fine. And we're running out of time. We're going to have to start taking some risks. And we're going to need to hit this informant a bunch. If we could go informant radio, then we could get 2 intel like right away. But I think we definitely want to try to hit that newspaper. Problem is we need to lock down. I say let's go this way. Oh, it's enticing to go this way so that we can secure the informant. That's the only problem. If we go this way, we have a little bit more sort of path towards our 2 objectives. But if we come here, we can lock down that informant. Yeah, let's do that. And they immediately hit that spot. Yep. Okay. I'm going to hit this just so maybe we can go informant radio, even if we don't want to head up there. But I think I might even be willing to sacrifice somebody else. Okay. So you're probably thinking like, hey, just put someone here. And then you can put them in there and then everyone's safe. Well, the problem with that is, again, that rule that you haven't seen yet, which is if they can't place in any spot, they're going to start arresting people. And if this grocer gets arrested, everybody gets caught. So you don't necessarily want to flood all of these areas. I think I want to have that one there, and I want to see where they're going. Okay, grocer. Poor district, doctor. Yeah. See, if there had been someone in the poor district and at the doctor, then they would have arrested the person here at the grocer. and that would have destroyed everything. You got to be careful of that. So I think now I feel good about taking this risk. They might get arrested, but, you know, maybe not. Yes, Radio A. There we go. We did it. 2 pieces of intel delivered and makes it home. We got our informant giving us even more intel. We got more food that we don't need. And we're not going to use the black market because we're worried about our morale. In fact, if anything, we might want to visit the doctor so we can hit the poor district so we can get a little bit more morale, but maybe we can complete this before. And in fact, we absolutely can, right? Because we can just send 2 people there. They might get arrested, but all we need to do is have at least 1 person left. So we can absolutely secure this, except for we only have 1 bit of intel. So we are going to need to get that second bit of intel. Radio A. Let's get that second bit of intel. Let's stay off the board if we can. Okay, that's good. Oh, we're going to have to shuffle the deck, though. That's bad. Okay, so they're going here. That's fine. Shuffle. I think we're going to go ahead and do the sabotage. Even if we get arrested, it's not a big deal. We got plenty of folks. Let's go up there. Okay. Didn't get away with that, but that's okay. And honestly, let's just end this. Boom. They'll get arrested, but, you know, let's just win. So here we go. Our informant's giving us that last bit of intel that we need. That person getting arrested, but delivering. And we've completed that. Sabotage. Also getting arrested, but we got the bomb. Completed. These 2 are safe. And we've won the game just like that. Now, a couple of things you didn't see in this playthrough. There's a bunch of these different rooms that you can build. This safe house is just an extra safe house that you can put out for people to go to. So you could, like, you know, put this over here, and now you have an easier way, right? You sort of can just go to this radio and then just come right back to the safe house like that. So that can be really valuable. You have this fixer, which is interesting. It lets you spend a money, and that lets you perform the task of any of these that you want. You know, it can be difficult to get money, but that's a lot of flexibility. So that would be an interesting one. We could have built just that, and we could have used that to be both an informant and a chemist lab, and we would just have needed to get a lot of money. So that could have been another way of doing it. Here you can see the pharmacist. You can spend 2 medicine to get whatever that symbol is. I don't know, maybe poison or something? Not sure. That would have some kind of mission associated with it, probably. Here you have the propagandist, so that's just an easy way to get that morale higher. That might be very valuable depending on what your objectives are. Here's an easy way of getting money with the counterfeiter. You got the smuggler here, where you could get 3 medicine or 3 food. That'd be really useful, of course. And then you have the forger, which lets you spend 1 of those intel tokens and 2 money in order to get 1 of these ID pass. And this is another way for you to sort of sneak by some of these police without actually having to kill them and bring soldiers out. So that could be really valuable as well. Now, in addition, there's a bunch of different missions that you can choose from. Now, again, both of these were level 1s, and there's 3 other level 1s here. Infiltration, you can see, get a little intel, get a weapon and a bomb. Here you have the double agent. Visit all locations on the west side of the river, except for the fence and spare room. Once completed, turn over the top patrol card. Location 1 is the location of the Dark Lady. Visit that location again to complete that mission. Remove one worker permanently from the game. So that's an interesting one. All of these are very thematic and kind of interesting. German Shepherds here. The occupiers have dogs to help with patrols. Use poison to eliminate them. So here you're delivering a medicine and a food 3 different times. And then you also have these level 2s, and there's a bunch of these, right? And these are going to be more difficult. All sorts of stuff. I will let you sort of discover these on your own, but look, aid the spy, assassination, destroy the train, liberate the town, bomb for the officer, take out the bridges, coded messages. Lots of cool stuff there. And then there are even these huge level 3 cards. We got 4 of those in the box, and they have like multiple objectives that you have to do. So these are much more involved, much more difficult. So lots of replayability here. But there you go, everyone. That's a complete play of Maquis. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.